Libra, you're going to get some happy financial surprises and some big breakthrough change coming in the way you handle money with other people, including banks, loans, and mortgages. It's kind of a very financially oriented but somewhat positive month ahead. And other areas of change will also include the opportunity, maybe, for some foreign travel at the end of the month. Let's get breaking this sky down for you as we approach July 2024. If you're new to my channel, hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Lori Lothian. I am using the Western Tropical Zodiac and the whole sign house system. And if you're new to astrology and you love the minor asteroids and fixed stars, when you subscribe and like my channel, you'll get a lot of that content every single month in my all signs, multiple all signs videos each month, including the weekly forecasts. So my only promotion I have before we start diving into your week ahead is two things. If you want to join my Sky Reader, it's not a promotion. It's a reminder that the 6-week live course is starting in September. So come join us. The waitlist / early bird discount tuition notice link is in my description box below. And also, just to say, I'm sharing some beautiful earrings by my friend Milena Devi, and she does homemade, home-crafted, one-of-a-kind, award-winning jewelry, actually, with fabric, ceramic, porcelain, metal, soldering, the whole mixed media. So I love these earrings. They happen to match my dress that I bought at a vintage store in Lisbon. I'm in Portugal as I record this for you. On June the 19th, early access ad-free content is received by my Patreon community today. You guys are going to get this a few days later. All right, so let's get rolling. So you're a Libra. Means you're Venus ruled. And why do we want to point that out right off the bat? Venus is actually very busy doing some very sweet stuff for you in the month of July, and she'll be moving through Leo in particular. And that's going to open up some sweet money corridors for you and some greater career success as well. But as well, the big story of the month, of course, is going to be what Mars is up to because of his rare conjunction with Uranus. So let's break this all down and let's get rolling. Let's start off with the idea of where Mars is moving right now and what that means for you. Back in June, around the 9th, he started moving through your 8th house of other people's money, chunky money, inheritance money. It's basically money that somehow you have to source in alliance with another person. That may include a bank or a stock investment or a mortgage or a credit card company, because you're sharing the money that belongs to another. And this also includes money you share with your significant other. Now, this 8th house money is coming in for a big breakthrough or a big dramatic element of potential change. It's not the first time you felt this. This will be around the 14th and 15th of July, when Mars and Uranus co-join together in that 8th house. But you felt the same kind of sort of rock and roll rattle the cage of that kind of money back in early August, late July and early August of 2022. And now here comes another cycle of the same story. Now, to be clear, it's somewhat rare because the last time Uranus and Mars were meeting in Taurus was in the 1930s. So we're back since 2019, every couple of years, we're in a new cycle of that same story. So consider that something dramatically significant, something meaningful wants to shift in July, and it will last for up to 2 years in how you handle the money you resource in the connection with a business partner, a love and marriage type partner, or money that you're connecting to or resourcing from investments, banks, and mortgages and loans and stuff like that. Even your taxes and how you pay them and the money you get back from your government, insurances, insurance payouts, things like that belong to your 8th house, and inheritances. Now, some Libras have already received inheritance or family trust monies and stuff like that from the last shakeup that happened in 2022 August. You have put it in the comments below, but I think a lot of you are still looking for that to happen. And some of you, unfortunately, may receive money through inheritance. I mean, I say unfortunately because we don't like it that way. If you're in any kind of separation of assets and financial stuff with another person you're involved in romantically with, like a husband-wife story kind of thing, or what do you call it, living together, cohabiting long enough to be common law, then sometimes Mars and Uranus here are shakeups in how you handle that shared money, and including how you separate the monies out between the two of you in the ends of relationships. Keep that in mind as well, and business partners as well, assets and business partnerships, and separating them in dramatic, exciting, unexpected ways. That is Uranus. That is what's happening around the 14th, 15th, and 16th of July. Don't expect it to happen on those days. It is a beginning of a synodic cycle that shifts the way you handle those monies over 2 years. Keep that in mind. Now, let's go back and talk about a few other stories. Before we go into Venus and Mercury and how they're moving through the sky for you this year, let's remind ourselves that Jupiter, Santa Claus, ho, 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 the good guy, is moving in the sky through your ninth house. This is your Gemini house, and this is a good thing. He's flowing to you in a trine. He started moving through there in early June. He'll be there till next June. And the good news is that this gives you a lot of luck. This is a very positive, lucky house. Luck in foreign travel, foreign lands, court and legal matters, book publishing world, luck and success in any kind of education, higher education specifically, getting accepted at your favorite college, going back to school. Really good luck when it comes to teachers, especially finding spiritual teachers. And finally, a renewal of your desire to go into a place of understanding hope, faith, and truth from a spiritual perspective. A lot of you will find lucky, auspicious new spiritual awakenings or spiritual traditions or spiritual teachers coming your way over the next year. Keep in mind that he's still there, and he's going to be doing some fun sky stuff for us this month. When Mars leaves your eighth house of chunky money, where he's colliding with Uranus, he'll do that on the 21st of July, and he'll come into co-presence with Jupiter in your ninth house. This is an ideal signature from the July 21st through to September 5th, when Mars is in your ninth house, co-present with Jupiter, to travel. Travel to foreign countries can be exceptionally positive. Also, to go to battle in a legal matter and win. Also, to submit a publishing company, document, to get a book published. To separate away Mars in a lucky and auspicious way from third marriage partners. Yes, the ninth house can represent a third marriage. And also finally, the ninth house is like, what's the deeper meaning of your life? And Mars will give you the passion, ardor, and intensity to investigate that. And he is flowing to your ascendant. You don't mind Mars in your ninth house. It feels good on you. It may even give you more drive, ambition, and motivation. It may be a renewal of the sense of purpose that Mars is driving you toward as he moves, as I said, July 21st, but then all the way through to September 5th, through your ninth house. Now, what about Venus? Venus is the lord of your sky. She's your number one planet. You need to pay attention to what she says, what she does, because she's your girl. And this planetary body, Venus, so this lesser benefic, is going to be in the sign of Cancer as the month starts. She would have been there from around June the 16th, 17th, and does not leave the sign of Cancer in your sky until July the 11th. And what is that? Your career house, right, Libras? You're a Libra, sun, moon, or rising. Your sun can be career and purpose. The moon can be your home, body, and nest, and your rising sign is everything about your character in the game of life. And the 10th house represents your career and purpose relative to those placements. So 10th house of visible reputation, career and purpose is where Venus is giving you some superior blessings. Now, June 16th to July 11th means the following possibilities. You could get a new job. You could be lucky in the workspace. You might get an award. You might get a raise. You might just get your perfect dream job. You might have more fun and enjoy the company of those you're working with and the job itself. All those are very possible with this Venus transit once a year through your 10th house. Then she moves on July 12th into Leo, which is your 11th house. And your 11th house is where you get the gains from your career. So that's where the money starts coming in from the career up levels that you've been getting. Now, Venus is quite entitled in Leo. And it can be your relationships with colleagues and coworkers coming into your forefront and how you're going to relate to those people, or an elder sibling, or just friendships at large, because your 11th house represents your larger social groups, but also it represents that elder sibling. So elder sibling relationships, larger social groups, and career gains are on the uptick in positive ways, July the 12th to August the 5th. Mercury, who's always traveling pretty close to Venus, is also on the move this month. On July the 3rd, he leaves Cancer, where he would have been for almost 3 weeks. That means he's been busy negotiating deals up until June the 3rd, at 3 weeks behind you, or so, 2.5 weeks, for new jobs, contracts, selling, marketing. Good idea of if you're like, if you're an MC or you're a broadcaster, or you have a high social media presence in which you need to speak to people, that would have been highlighted as very successful during that transit. But then on July the 3rd, he moves into Leo, where he stays until July the 26th. Now, Leo is that 11th house that we just described, where Venus will be as well. So he gets there first. It's good for social events. When Mercury's up there, July the 3rd to the 26th, it's good for going out and having fun times with your friends. It's good for lots of emails, phone calls, and correspondence with an elder sibling, or a lot of conversation going on and communicating going on about group events with groups, or connected to larger groups of belonging, like clubs you belong to. When Venus joins him, of course, so it's going to be an even more beautiful pairing there. It's like a fine wine, really, pairing with, some really good, oysters or something. But July 12th, Venus is there, right? So we also have Mercury already there. So there's a sweet spot in the sky with the two of them moving through your 11th house of good spirit, which can bring windfalls. And so there's a possibility some financial luck may descend upon you, some kind of windfall energy here between the dates of July the 12th and July the 26th, when both Mercury and Venus are together. Now, Mercury can rule lots of different things, but he certainly can be about your ability to speak and communicate to others. And Venus makes you a kind of a micro celebrity in the larger groups that are around you. So this is a good time to put yourself out there on social media, or to get up on a stage, or get your TED Talk going, or get in front of your office mates and deliver some kind of rousing, cheerleading energy for everybody else. You're gifted in those ways. We look at the 11th house sometimes as your forward-looking goals and dreams for your life, and Venus and Mercury together allow you to come up with new ideas and visions that are desirable, that you would enjoy for what you want to achieve in life, in that sort of career, reputation sphere of reality. Now, the bottom line is, between July the 12th and July 26th, with both Venus and Mercury in your very social 11th house, you're very social. You are very busy on the social circuit. Mercury will move into Virgo, his home kingdom, which is your 12th house, whole sign house. And he'll move into that part of your sky July 27th, and he'll be there until August 13th, because then he's going to retrograde back into your 11th house. We'll do videos on that, so stay tuned for that. That's why liking and subscribing helps. It's a very interesting time for elemental fire year Mercury. But as we look at Mercury's movement through Virgo briefly, July 27th to the end of the month, indeed to August 13th, you might find yourself really working on some ideas behind the scenes, writing behind the scenes, coming up with new ideas behind the scenes, spending more time alone doing secret projects, backroom deals and negotiations as well, especially in your professional area. And for some of you, Mercury is very much a learner in the 12th house. He likes to study something. And with Jupiter going through your 9th house, that can indicate some of you are going to be taking some courses. Now, professional education perhaps, or some other area of endeavor or interest could captivate you. So the capacity for you to want to learn something begins to emerge on July 27th through to August the 13th, and it'll be back again later. So don't let that possibility of the curious George in you who wants to understand and learn something go. And sometimes Mercury in the 12th house, protector of travelers for far off foreign shores. Some of you may do some foreign travel from the country of your origin or that you reside in, sometime starting July 27th through to August 13th, likely to a place you've been before because of the retrograde. Now, let's keep going. We just covered the planetary motions. Now we're going to very briefly touch on the two lunations this month, and then we're going to move into a bit by bit, events that are happening, day by day, week by week during this month. You're going to want to grab a pen or a paper or listen to this video more than once, but lots of this stuff is pretty good. So I think you're going to enjoy this month. August. July the 5th, there is that new moon in Cancer, a new beginning in your career is basically what it means, and a new beginning in your career and reputation that can take 6 months to fully unfold, or 2 weeks and then 6 months as well. The Capricorn blue full moon at 29 degrees of Capricorn on July the 21st, second full moon in Capricorn in 2 months, It is an important one for you to do with your home, property, and real estate. You may be completing, ending, or finalizing some property and real estate matters, whether it's buying, selling, moving, or renting. Some changes in your home are on the horizon. Completions and endings are full moons, and this can unfold over 2 weeks after the July 21st moon, but also over 6 months, portending a possible ending or completing around something to do with matters around property, home, land, and real estate. Now, what about the blow by blow of the story of this month? On July the 1st, to about the 4th or so, Venus is in a trine to Saturn, which is lovely, positive energy for money and love. But for you, she's still in Cancer, which is your 10th house. That indicates for you, it's a matter of career success. The trine to Saturn in your 6th house of work, workmates, coworkers, employer-employee stories is all about some beautiful flow and exquisite success through hard work and determination. Work is hard, but it is rewarding, and some kind of sweet spot happens, maybe even personal recognition, or if you're the boss, your dream employee signs up on the job and you're so happy with that person. At the same time, Venus is loving up this sky. The first 4 days of July, Mercury also is flowing to Neptune in the work and job house from your career space. Again, it's the same vibration of some career perks, accolades, rewards, raises, success, recognition. And it is connected to the work house, the place you go to work. If you're self-employed, it's your home office, and your visible reputation is accelerating. Something good is happening here, and just enjoy it. Please just enjoy it. On July the 4th, we see that Mars flows in a sextile from the sign of Taurus, which is your 8th house of chunky money, to Saturn in that work house. Now, that can be very interesting, sort of, some developments that are positive around your 401k, your investments, your work situation, when it comes to benefits at work, like health benefits or stuff like that. It could also be some positive financial momentum in the money you share with your business partners, or if it's about that workspace because of Saturn, then maybe again, some finalizing of some positive financial agreements in your work setting. Mars is definitely capable of being very separative. And so you may also be separating out some financial monies connected to work matters or debts. The 6th house is debts, and you may pay off a debt, pay down a debt, refinance a debt. That's all very possible. July 4th, 2 or 3 days before and after, thanks to the Mars-Saturn sextile. On July the 8th, Mercury is in a sweet conversation called a sextile to Jupiter. Well, Mercury is moving through your 11th house at this point in the sign of Leo, talking to Jupiter in your 9th house. Now, ideally, this could lead to a foreign trip, plan, getaway, or actually taking it with somebody that you enjoy, friends and allies and fun people, an elder sibling, a journey abroad. That's quite possibly all that is. You may not take the trip, July the 8th, 2 or 3 days before and after, but you may certainly plan it. Or you could be having a huge fun, a social event involving spiritual things like the church choir, or, the what do you call that stuff people do? Then they chant, the kirtan group, and things are really loving you up in group settings connected to spiritual path endeavors. It's really good for things to do with human resources in an institutional setting, connected to work and gains and career monies. It's also very good for legal matters, paying out a dividend of some karmic rewards financially, like a windfall from winning in a court matter. When is that again? That is going to be July the 8th, 2 or 3 days before and after. Venus says happy money and love surprises on July the 8th as well. That's because she is in a flow to Uranus in the house of chunky money. That is a nice feeling, because if there's a chunky money surprise coming at you, it's coming from that career space. She's still in Cancer on July the 8th. So again, sign-on bonus, severance packages, perks, commissions, performance reviews, and awards and rewards, money that you have negotiated in a business contract for career purposes, looking very positive and surprisingly good for you on July the 8th. On July the 10th to the 12th, the Sun trines Saturn and Venus trines Neptune. So both Venus and the Sun are in the sign of Cancer at this time, which is your 10th house of career and reputation. So Sun up there is shining brightly, so everyone's noticing you. Venus is saying luck and good things are happening. Positive feelings are here. And then they're both trining the planet Saturn in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces. The long story short, because your sixth house is your work house, colleagues, coworkers, workspace, work routines, and the 10th house is career. These are Artha houses. There's some kind of superior glow up July 10th to the 12th in your career space and in your workspace. And it can be monetarily positive. It can also just feel really good. On July the 12th, Venus comes into an opposition to Pluto. She has now moved into the sign of Leo. She's opposite Pluto for power control struggles, toxic, difficult conversations with friends who are supposedly benefactors or allies or elder siblings. Venus in your 11th, in an opposition to Pluto in the house of your children, Pluto in the house of your fifth house of your creativity, your entrepreneurial endeavors, your romantic love. Now, because anytime you see Venus and Pluto together, it can be toxic love stories, betrayal, shame, abandonment, and it's in a complicated axis of sexual romantic energy, fifth house and 11th house. You may be going through some really difficult situation with somebody who you would consider a friend, and twisted or tormented or unrequited or toxic fatal attractions. Be careful for that, especially in the work or colleague space, because of Venus in the 11th house as well. This will not last. This will last a couple of days. You will feel it come and it will go, but it's pretty acute around the 11th, 12th, and 13th, or the 12th and 13th of the month of July. On July the 14th and 15th, Mars will come into a conjunction to Uranus in your chunky money house. I mentioned this in the beginning. It's the big breakthrough change energy of this month for every one of us. Look for that to initiate a cycle over 2 years of big breakthroughs and sudden unexpected new directions in chunky money matters. Listen to the beginning of the video for more detail. And also, moving beyond that, when we move to July 16th to the 18th, the sun will flow to Uranus, just as Venus did on July the 8th. It's conceivable that you can connect whatever's going on July the 8th to the events that are going on July 16th to the 18th, with that sun doing exactly what Venus did, loving up the surprise god in the house of chunky money. So we see positive surprises coming through your chunky money sky. What could it possibly be? It indicates career direction matters because, of course, the sun on July 16th and 18th is still shining brightly in the top of your career sky. On July 21st and 22nd, Mars will trine Pluto. But just before he does that, the 19th and the 20th, he's in a sextile to Neptune. This is dreamy, positive, ideal, flowing possibilities around your work situation and finances, but also because Neptune is in a house of pets and tenancies and rental agreements, all of those are possibly happening too in terms of a dreamy, positive outcome. Saturn rules your house of property and home and is also sitting in that sixth house. So it could conceivably look like you are going to experience something positive on July 4th and again later on. Okay, so when we move forward to July 19th and 20th to do with rental agreements, whether you're the landlord or the leasee. And that's because of Mars's July 4th trine to Saturn in your sixth house of rentals. And then later on, Neptune following up, Mars, Neptune, your dream home, dream rental, dream tenant, that kind of thing. If you have to spend money for a pet because a breeder's, a costly cost, a big expenditure with you and your partner or something, maybe a pet story emerging to purchase a pet, but that's the least likely version. Finally, then when we're on the 21st and 22nd, Mars trines Pluto. Well, what do we like about that? Mars in your sign of Gemini, co-present with Jupiter, trining Pluto. You're going to get this energy of Jupiter trine Pluto again in about 12 years. It's still happening as we go into the month of July. Jupiter Pluto energy is power and wealth and success and ambition that leads to successful outcomes. Pluto is in your fifth house of creativity, entrepreneurship, children, sexuality and romance. Jupiter, foreign lands, foreign shores, book publishing, publications in general, higher education, and the meaning of your life. You'll keep all that backdrop in mind because when Mars enters here and slips into like the 0 and 1 degrees of Gemini, right, on the 21st, 22nd, 23rd of July, you're going to feel an important surge of energy to do with what is truly possible for you to succeed at something that truly matters to you. Whether that's romantic love, children and fertility matters, creativity, entrepreneurial success, especially with an international reach, Jupiter, Mars in your ninth house. So book publishing is favored here as well. So that's a beautiful energy. It's a power surge. It's like that whoosh, and it's in air, and air is about ideas and writing and communicating. So those things are really lifting for you on the 21st to the 23rd of July. Now there's a little fly in the ointment with Mercury in a square to Uranus at the same time. That can look like some unexpected news or information connected to colleagues, coworkers, or from friends to do with financial matters or an elder sibling, a little glitch in the ointment. What we end up with at the very end of the month is unusual. We have Mars tracking with the sun a degree a day. So in other words, Mars will be moving in lockstep a degree a day from your ninth house, Gemini, tracking with the sun at this point, moving through Leo, your 11th house, in lockstep in a sextile. So that's positive. Positive things are happening to do with career gains connected to legal matters, human resources, foreign lands, foreign shores. Positive things are happening to do with academic environments and social settings. Positive things are lockstepping in publications, publishing, books, etc., connected to favors from friends, allies, and benefactors. Click, 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 click. July 24th to the 28th. Thank you for listening, Libra. I hope this has been useful for you and that you can use this material to time your best life as you move through this merry month of, I know, there you guys are, as you move through this very merry month of July. Don't forget, if you're new to my channel and you haven't hit the like button or subscribe, would you please give me a shot? If you want to check out my Patreon community where we have early access, ad-free content, please do. Also, a gift for you. Come try me out for $5 on the lowest tier. You're going to get 2 free classes, Chiron, the Key to Purpose, and Are You My Person Synastry course. They're valued at $44. I give them to you as a gift. You can keep them forever as soon as you join. You can leave anytime and keep them. It's just an ethical bribe to see if you want to come aboard a more intimate community with me. I will be opening up my readings calendar this fall. If you want to get a reading with me, everybody, you need to get on the wait list. That's in my description box below. I open up selective spots. They go in 24 hours. But if you want to be on the list to get the email that says open it up, and I put out more than one email to open the shopping cart up for readings, I usually put out 2 for different time zones, right? I recognize if I send something out at 8 in the morning, North America time or something, it's not fair to my Australians or my European people. So I send out batches of emails notifying you that there are certain spots open, and those batches will probably be opening up in August, late August, for September, October, and November. Limited spots, however. I'm busy writing 2 books. All right. Thanks for listening. I appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful July.